Welcome back to Guns and Coffee, where we have gun talk. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more gun talk. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. So today, I want to do a few upgrades to this PC charger I have. Finally came in a few goodies here. So this is from Tandemkross. I have a few goodies here. Go through them. So first up, can't really see, but is a bolt keeper, the extended bolt lock. The one on the Ruger is really small, so this will extend it and make it easy to keep the bolt open. Next up will be a bolt buffer. This one's supposed to help out with the buffer. Next is a extended mag release and a better charging handle, and this is an extra one for the other side. So I don't know if you can see, but the factory one, this should give it a little more thickness, and there's some rubber O-rings on here, so it's an easier grip, and this will make it to where I could grab it from both sides. So there's that. And I have one more thing. This is from Franklin Armory. It is a binary trigger kit. So excited to install all these things. So go ahead and open these up so we can take a closer look. So here's that extended bolt lock. Here's that bolt buffer, and I chose this red to kind of accent this gun. Here is the extended mag release, so you could tell. And then your two charging handles. So there's that. And then let's open up this Franklin Armory Binary trigger kit. There we go. So all the goodies that we'll be installing. Right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this thing apart, set these new parts off to the side, and I'll make sure we are empty and empty as well. Now, if you push this forward and twist, take the barrel out, then what you're going to be doing is that one, and then there's another screw on top to take the handle off. Set that off to the side, and then I think it should come right out. There we go. Then what we're going to do is take the cocking handle out too. At this point, what you want to do is bring the hammer back forward. Go ahead and unscrew this charging handle. So we won't be reusing this, so set that off to the side. Alright. So next, do is take a punch, and we're going to punch these two pins out, which is for the trigger assembly. So we're going to be installing the binary trigger first. So take those two pins out, and this should just pop right out. Set that off to the side. Alright, so now that you got the trigger housing out, what you're going to do is set it on fire and pull the trigger. Make sure you keep your thumb or finger on the hammer itself so it doesn't go flying, and release and push the hammer all the way forward and take the hammer spring out. And then what you're going to do is use that punch to take out the hammer pin. And take the hammer out. Alright, so after you get that done, we're going to take the trigger. So there is a trigger spring and plunger right here. So what you want to do is put your finger on the trigger itself, push back, and use the punch and punch that out. Here's the trigger pin, and slowly release. And then you could take the trigger out. So now if you look, you could take the plunger and the spring, which is not wanting to come out. There it is. Alright, so here is your trigger spring and trigger plunger. There is a new trigger spring that's included in the kit, so we won't be needing that. So now what you're going to do is the safety selector. You want to put it in the middle like so, and what you're going to do is rotate, hold it like this and rotate it. A little bit of oil there. Rotate it clockwise to about the 3 o'clock. And what you want to do is make sure you have it upside down, or put your thumb right here, because there is a detent that holds that in. So then you could just twist and push. Alright, you hear that? So here's the safety selector detent and spring that shot out in there. Set that off to the side as well. The safety selector. Alright, so now that we got that out, I'm going to go ahead and unpackage the binary trigger. So we're going to be installing this binary trigger. So we got the trigger, got the hammer, your hammer spring, and here is your new trigger spring, and your new safety selector, your safety selector plunger and spring. So it just goes together like that. And then your spacers, comes with an Allen, and then your stickers to have the safety and the binary. So we'll install that a little bit later. You don't have to, but some people do. I may or may not. We'll decide when that time comes. So first, what you're going to do is, if you look down, there is a little hole right there. Right there. So that's where the safety selector detent is going to go. So if you got some tweezers, already losing. Take that. You have to do it one at a time, since this thing. All right. So you could see right there, it's resting in that hole. And then you're going to take your selector. So you have two different sides, and it does matter. So this side has two straight edges. This one has one. So you're going to unscrew this side where there's the one notch right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. See how that one's got one notch? This one's got two notches, two flat sides. So you're going to take this side off with the one first. Go. All right. And then of course there's a little notch. So when you put it together, it'll go back to where it is. And if you have it facing forward, you're going to go from your right to your left. So what you want to do is, and again, be careful not to fling this thing out. So you want to flat side down. So just like this. See how it's flat? there's this flat side right here. You want to face that down. Press in that plunger. So this is going to be the trickiest part, trying to get that in there. But as you can see, you want to carefully push that plunger down and get that flat piece over it. And then you could kind of use another punch once it's over that lip. Push it in, push it down, and then punch it through the rest of the way. So there we have that. So once you get that in there, you should be able to twist. So on the safety position, single, and then binary. You should be able to move that around. So next, we're going to install the trigger. So you have your new trigger spring and then your detent. So stick that on there. And you'll see there's a little hole right there. Let's stick that down in there. Then you're going to take your trigger, that trigger down there, and there. So the little notch right there in the back of the trigger, you should be able to stick that on there and carefully push this back and line the trigger up with the hole. Alright, so once you have that lined up, you should be able to just push this pin right through. And there you have it. Alright. So next, going to take the hammer and then your spring. So it's going to look like this. And then you're going to take the spacers, and the top part where it's notched out is going to go on the inside on the hammer itself. Like so. And it should rest on there. Alright. Just like that. Alright, so once we get that done, you want to, so that's the front. You want these, squeeze a little bit, and resting on top of the trigger. And what you're going to do is line it up with this hole. Then you're going to take your pin, once you got it lined up, and push it through. And it should go through effortlessly. Like so. Alright, so in order to check this, push the hammer back, pull the trigger, make sure you got your thumb over the hammer. this way. Hold your finger on the trigger, push it back, and then let loose, and it should fire again. So that's the binary. Okay, so let's do that again. So pull the trigger, hold it down, push it back, let loose. There it goes. All right. So in order to test the next, so just bring it down to the regular fire. So pull the trigger, push it back, and it won't fire. Another test you can do too is have it on binary, pull the trigger, and then push this back, and then if you push this down and let loose, it should release it. And then of course you put it in safety and it doesn't fire it at all. So there we have that. All right. Next, you're going to take the selector off as well, and make sure you note that this one's on the side. So this is the right side of the gun. So before we go and install the trigger group back, I'm going to replace this bolt release with the new extended bolt release. So take your pen. So what you want to do is push up on the bolt release, punch this out, and again when you release it there's a spring, so do it slowly. See the difference? And then you're gonna put the new one back in. Again, push up on it, and this pin should just go right back where it is. And literally that's for the extended bolt lock. That's all that it is. So test it out, make sure it works. Now you got a lot of room, and extends it. All right, one more thing we're gonna do here before we put everything back together. This bolt buffer. So grab the bolt buffer, pull up on the bolt and the buffer itself. And you could slide this thing out. So all you do, slide this out, and what you're going to do is you want to make sure where the honeycomb is facing down. So you're going to push this down, take this little pin, C-clamp out, and you could see that there's a little indentation in it. And then slowly release the tension on this. Take this out so you can see the difference. This is regular plastic. It's a softer plastic, but it's plastic, and we're replacing it with this rubber piece. So this should help with some of the buffering. Again, push down. See? Stick it in there. It should release it back. And that's it. And then we'll slide this back in. Slide the bolt back like so. And then what we'll what we're going to do is install the trigger. Line everything up. Set that to the side as well. Put your pins back in. And then this is why we want to take these out, because if you do have that in, you won't be able to get it in there. So line everything up. Push down. All right. So make sure you're putting the right one on the right one and the left on the left. I guess it doesn't make a difference. They're both the same thing, but there's a little indentation. You'll see. You want to line them up on here and then screw them in. Flip it and do the same thing with the other side. Make sure everything's still working. All right. Then we will install this extended mag release next. All it is just one screw. Unscrew it. Make sure it is spring tension, that it doesn't go flying. Replace it with this new one. See that it lines up. There we have that. And then got your charging handles. Now install the pistol grip back. Alright. Now you can put the barrel back on. Do you want to bring the bolt back? There we have it. Nice little red accent everywhere. The bolt catch works well and easy to use. The binary trigger, safety, single, binary, all works. So there we have it. And all of these are just extra parts now. Won't be needing anything else. And then you can put these stickers on to show probably not going to be putting them on, but it is there for you if you want to install, put the stickers on to show. I think I know where they are. So, and we have it. So this is the Ruger PC charger, the binary trigger install, the bolt keep extended bolt lock, or the bolt keeper, extended bolt lock, bolt buffer, extended mag release, and the 2 new charging handles. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more gun talk. Please leave your questions and comments below. Until next time.